So let's see here.
Did you exit the editor in
Control
the
D.
Control D?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you on a Mac?
No,
I'm.
Windows.
Yeah. Is there a control on the Mac?
There's a
Anybody?
command on the Mac,
Yes,
but
there is.
So it must be the same thing, right? Control D if there's a control on it. Try it because I don't use a Mac a lot.
Yeah, this is the same control.
It is working.
let me uh, yeah, it worked.
Okay, so this adds to the file. Okay, and it reads the file. It writes to the file. This will overwrite uh, this it cat reads the file. Cat writes to the file. Note. No, this will overwrite the file. Okay. And adds to the file. Okay, and creates if it doesn't if the if the file if the file if file if the file does not exist already. And here's the I'm gonna make it a yellow here so that cat file x. Okay, good. Now what you could do is you could also redirect the file. So what you could do is you could do this also. You could do cat and then redirect the file into, let's do file 2. It has this content here, right? So then what you could do is you could cat file x and then you could put this into file name file y. Okay, so it's gonna whatever it's gonna do. Okay, hold on, let me clear this. Okay, so give me one moment here. I'm gonna close this and default load behavior translation selection. Good. It's gonna keep all the history a lot longer. Okay, that's good. Okay, now, so let's see a cat file X, right? So what you could do is you could do cat file X, and then you could put that into the new file here or existing file. Did I talk about this already? Uh, yeah, because I have to do that as a.
I don't think you did.
No, right? Okay. So instead of this is displaying here, what we'll do is it will put it into the file Y. Okay? There you go. And if you do file Y didn't exist to begin with, right? We created one, and so there you go. Now to kick it up a notch, what you got to do is you could do file X and file 2. What I'll do is it will add more of the content of both files here to it here. So let's take a look here. If you do it, it's reading both files together. Now what you could do is you could add those two files to file Y. And hit enter. And then if you cat file Y, there you go. Okay, so what you're doing is you're just adding the redirecting or manipulating these files here. Okay, so these are skills that you will be using day in and day out every day here, because what I'm doing here, this is how exactly the things will be at work. Okay, so let's see here. And okay. So cat file.
A quick question, sir.
Yeah.
So by making this file Y, so the content of file X and file 2, that will be deleted, or it will
No,
stay there?
it will stay there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, good question though.
Thank you, sir.
Cat file 2, it's still there. The output, the correct term is output. What is supposed to be displayed in the output is being redirected. Okay? Redirecting the output to another file. To new/existing file. Okay, now what will happen if you don't use a double arrow? What will happen if you don't use double arrow? Okay, if you don't use double arrow, it will override. It will empty out the existing file and then it will rewrite it again. So adding two double arrow, that means adding to the file. On the bottom of the line, it will go on the bottom of the line and it will add it to the bottom of the line. Okay, see how this file Y, originally when you did file Y, it got two lines in there, and then we did add this cat, and then these two files we catted, and then we added another 4 lines from this, because we're catting two files here, 1 and 2. Between those two files, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more lines were added here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These many lines were added, and then this line was added using the very first command here. Okay. Okay, the correct term is output, input, redirection. Okay, good. So now the next thing is grep. Grep is, what is it? Grep. Grep is a command used for filtering out, okay? Use as a filter. This is used as filter, okay? Um, filter the file. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear this here, and then I'm gonna create a file name, cat, and then I'm gonna go into the file and create a new file name, uh, file 3. Okay, and hit enter. What I'm gonna do is, this is Linux, this is Red Hat, this is Linux course. Linux is interesting. Linux course lasts 6 months. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna filter out. So if we are looking for something like Linux in there, so what you type is, you type grep, uh, command name grep Linux, and then name of the file, file 3. Okay, so what it does is it will match the case. It will exactly match the case here, and then it will bring it to you. So it will bring the full line here, not just the one letter or the one word. It will get you the line where that instance is repeating here. So out of this, it's using the grep command, and it's using Linux. It's looking for the term Linux in it, and then it's reading through the file here. Okay, what you could do is you could do space -I and hit enter. What it does is this will ignore the case. Okay, so this will ignore the case, and it now this time it will brought Linux here with the lowercase Linux. These two are lowercase Linux, and these two are uppercase Linux. So you see the benefit in here that you could use the grep command here. Okay, so let me copy that.
Question.
Yeah.
So since once we're done writing this after the cat command and we hit enter and then we're doing the grep Linux file 3, one of my L's was capitalized and the rest were lowercase, but that's not the question. I just want to know, would there be a way to go back into it and edit some of our data if we want to change it?
Why not?
Like we would be able to do that, right?
Yeah. For that,
Okay.
there is an editor here. You have to use the editor. So
Okay.
for that, what you could do is that is actually we'll spend one full day on editor, how the editor works.
Okay.
So
All right. Sounds good.
the
Thank
one
you.
we are using is like a quick and dirty way to edit the file or whatever.
Okay.
But there is a full editor that is coming, text editor, comparable to our uh, text. What do we have in here in Windows? Text pad, right?
Notepad.
Notepad.
Yep.
Yeah. So in Linux, you use a notepad a lot because it doesn't try to autocorrect and all that here. You really need those things, okay? Because if you put something in a Windows document like here, it's trying to autocorrect here, which is pain in the neck. So but if you are a Linux guy, you'll be using all the text files and all that. Okay,
Okay.
so good, very good question.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what is this one here? Is you just created a file here. I don't have to go through that. Okay. Filters the matching case. Okay, and then here hyphen I hyphen lowercase I to uh, use ignore case. Okay, and now what else you could do is you could get the similar results using the cat command too. Okay, so if you do cat file3 and you know what, actually let's do this here. Pipe, if you look there is a pipe there. You see on your keyboard here right above the enter key, you have to get this character here. It's a pipe. It's called pipe, Pipe. Okay, and when you're talking with your colleagues here, what will they say is pipe through it. That means filtering it out. Okay, now what we're gonna do is cat, then I'm gonna use pipe, then I'm gonna use grep. This time I'm not gonna give you the file name here. Okay, I'm gonna just give you grep Linux here and hit enter. Okay, and it gave us the, okay, so you have to be file3 and hit enter. It gave us the same exact result. If you compare this result, which one, this one and this one, it's giving us the same result here. Okay, and then if you copy this too, it's gonna give us the same result. Hyphen I, there you go. So we're going to be using a pipe a lot here. It's not going to be exclusive to this command here, but we could use the pipe to filter through, run multiple commands here. Pipe is used for filtering, not filtering, I wouldn't say filtering, is used for running the pipe is used for running the commands, multiple commands, not multiple commands. What do I say is, let's see here, what do I is used for for now, let's put down as multiple commands here. Okay, so how does this work? You have a primary command, and then you pipe through it, and then you have a secondary command, and then you pipe through it, and then you would have like a third command. So let me just put this here like this. Okay, how am I going to do this here? And the third command is, what you could do is, let's see here. Okay, you got this result here, right? Within this result, then I'm going to do again this, and then then what I could do is, should I do another grep? What I could do is another grep here. Grep, then I'm going to say 6. So the original file 3 has a lot of lines in there, right? Got more than 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so when we do this filter out, we got 4 lines in here, okay? Now the third command is dependent on the second command. So the second command, so the third command is again further filtering into the third command here, okay? But this is just an example here. Instead of grep, you could use something else too, okay? We'll figure those things out as we move along. So let's see here. Okay, now the next command is WC. WC is word count. This is a word count. Okay, so it's used for word count here, okay? So I'll show you what is word count means. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a file 3 again, and I'll type word WC file 3, okay, and hit enter. I type WC WC file 3. Okay, so what is this doing here? Okay, so I have to explain that to you all. Okay, so I'm gonna go this here, and what I have here is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to insert a box here, 4 blocks. Okay. In here, if you could see, the first one is 5. Second one is 19. Third one is 100. Fourth one is file 3. Okay, so what is the first one? First one, it is lines. How many lines you have in there? In the text document, how many lines are there? And then the second one is how many words? Third information is characters, including space. And fourth one is file name. Okay. Okay, good. Now what you could do is you could go up to this place here and then do WC only. There you go. now from the output, and then if after this filtering, why is it showing 4? Because because when you do this here, grep-il, it has only 4 lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's counting this part here. Why? Because the command is third in line to run itself. Okay, very good. And of course, what you could do is you could put this into a file then. Right? If you don't want to see it on the screen, you could do that in the file. Now if you do cat file 3, it will be added to the bottom of the line. See? There you go. Okay? Now you could see how this thing is building up. So before that, I'm gonna do this here. So what you could do also is, let's see here. There is other commands here. You let me clear this. You do wc-l file 3. What is it going to do? It's going to give you how many lines are there. wc-w, it gives you how many words are in there. Okay, and now if you do wc-c, it gives you how many characters are in there. Okay, now you see how this thing is coming down. Okay, and cat file 3, and you could do the grep and all that too. So it gets interesting how things are working here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is we're going to use the head command. Let me introduce you the head command. Okay, let's see here. Head. This is also kind of, you could reuse this to read through the file here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a file 4, right? Do we have file 4 here? Okay, so I'm gonna say clear cat file 4. Okay, clear this again, cat file 4 here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, this is line 1, this is line 2. What you could do is you could do this here also. I think you copy it once and it will go through like that here. Okay, so this is line 1, 2. Oh God. Okay, let me start over again. This is line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got a question? 6,
Yeah, I wanted to know, do we
7.
use one greater than sign or less than sign or two of them?
Either way.
Okay.
Well, I'm using it here so that I did some mistakes, so it's up to you.
Okay.
9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm going to do Control D here. So if I do cat file 4 and hit enter, it reads the file here, right? So the head command, you type head file 4. What it does is, and you hit enter, head command by default it reads 10 lines, first 10 lines of the file. So why is this important? Because you will be dealing with a file that would have thousands of lines in there, okay? First 10 lines of the file, okay? So the way you do it is just type head and it will give you 10 lines. Okay, but if you want less than 10, what you could do is head -5 and then the file name, it will give you 5 lines, okay? And if you want more than 10 lines, you could do -15. It will give you 15 lines here. In this case, it has 12, so it's going to stop at 12 lines. Okay, you got the idea here now. Let's move forward. Okay, so now if there is a head command, there is a tail command. What it will do is it will read the 10 lines from the bottom. Okay? This command reads 10 lines of the file from top. This command read, let's do top 10 lines. Okay? And then the other tail one is bottom 10 lines. Okay? Let's do that. Tail command reads bottom 10 lines. So let's take a look here. Let me clear this. Tail file, what is that file we had? File 4, right? Tail file 4. So it will read from the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? It reads bottom 10 lines. And you could do the same thing also. Let's do this here. Tail -5. So it reads bottom 5 lines, okay? -15, bottom 15 lines here. You all get the idea, right?
Does that work with any number, or is it just 5 and 15?
Any number, man, any number.
Okay.
Any number. That's what I'm saying here. I'm not going to put in here the file. There is one file here. there is file here var log messages. I'm going to pipe this to word count -l. So this file, it's a system file. It got 48 lines in here, right? So what I could do is I could do tail -5. So it gave me the log file, which is only 5 lines here. And then I could give -15. It gave me last 15 lines. If I do head, HEAD, it gave me the top files. The reason we have top, tail, and head is some system files it writes the new information on the top of the line. Okay, I mean top of the file. And some system files are there that the system writes it to it on the bottom of the file. So that's why you use this here. Okay, so let me clear this. History. Yeah, let me just put this in here so that you could play around with these things here. As an example. So if I do like file 3, it shows me the 3 lines. Okay. So there is another command called more and less. Okay, so there is a command called more and there is command called less. Okay, so we'll see why we have more and less also. So the more command, the primary use for is use is for huge file. Okay, for example, if you open a text file, it's only smaller, right? When you open a file, when you open like a Word document or something on the computer, it loads into the memory. So now what will happen is, if you have like a very huge file, like a 1 gigabyte of Word document, is going to suck up the memory, right? So what happens is, in Linux, you will come across some files which are huge. It could be thousands of lines of data information in there. So what you have to do is, if you use cat, it will read through all the files in there, and then it will load in the memory, and then you will get, your system will hang. So what will happen is these two files, that's why you use these two files to manipulate how you want to do it, okay? But the more is going to use so this will load the entire file into the memory. Less doesn't do that, okay? So let's see here if there is a file in here. cd/var logs. Okay, we don't have bigger size files here. Okay, the file is not big enough, but it got like 1,500 lines in there. Okay. So it has 1,500 lines in there, right? Now what I'll do is, let me clear this. So if I type more here, it loads the entire file here, okay? And then how it says only 1% done on the bottom here. So it's you see from the top of the line. And how do you enter this? You push enter to go up and down line by line, and push spacebar to go page by page. Okay? So use enter on keyboard to scroll line by line, and then use spacebar on keyboard to scroll page by page. Okay. Okay, and then how do you quit this? Just type Q to quit the file. And let me see, not good when memory is low. If the file is huge. Don't get me wrong here. You could use the more command for even a silly small file, but usually you use it for huge files here. Why is it used for huge files? Because you could scroll through better here compared to a cat command. It stops at 10 pages and it scrolls through. Okay, so the good one of that is you have to use this as an example. Okay, you could play around with this here. Similarly, let's take a look at less. Okay, so what is the less command do? This is similar to what did I put down here? Primary used to read huge file. Primary use is to read huge file. Primary This is similar to using more command. Okay, but it will load the output as needed into memory. Okay, so I use a less a lot. So if I do less and hit enter, what it does is it gives you this output here, and then you just hit enter to scroll line by line, okay, or use space bar to go page by page, okay, and then just do Q to quit, and then definitely you could use the pipe and all that to search through it, okay. Okay, but we'll
Quick question, sir, please.
yeah.
I just tried both the commands with more and with less, with the var log and messages, but I am getting notification that I don't have such file or directory.
No, don't. You have to go in there, and it may be different for you. This part.
Okay.
Go into this. Go into this folder here. Do you know how to go into a folder? How do you go into that folder? Anybody?
CD.
Yeah. So go into CD warlog. And then do ls-l and pick a file you think is big and do wc on it. And then try to do it on that file. Did you find a huge file there?
Yeah, there is one with messages, and it's like root 731.628 August 9 messages.
Okay, so let's do this. Give me your uh, give me your team viewer. Minimize WebEx. Then give me team viewer.
Right. Yes, sir. ID?
Yeah.
194
194.
263.
Okay, 067.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now the password.
D G
Okay.
89
89.
T4.
Letter T, number 4.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm in. So now let me. You might want to update your team viewer after the class. And
Right.
yeah, close this. Yeah, keep this. Okay, yeah. So Yeah. So you may not have. You're doing ls here, right? So you don't see messages in here. Okay, look at only the file that says messages in there. 73.116.28. That's a pretty big file.
Right, sir.
Yeah, just do on that file here. You don't have to match it. Some of the file may not be the same as I'm seeing in my, because it's a different system, right? Just
Right,
cat,
sir.
just do WC messages on it.
Right, sir.
Then push tab key. You don't have to type the whole thing. Push, no, type partially messages, MESS, then push the tab. It will autofill for you. Okay, I think I told you guys already this, right? Or no?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay, now hit enter. So you got 8,000 lines in it. Now try the more command, more, and then the name messages.
So I just lost that command. Can you actually guide me, please,
Yeah,
with that
just
command?
more and the message, name of the file. There you go. Now if you want to navigate, hit enter. It will go line by line. And if you want to navigate page by page, hit space bar. Okay, now if you want to quit, just push Q on the keyboard.
Right, sir.
Okay, now if you want to do less than the name of the file. Messages. Okay, now you got the idea. Yeah, there you go.
Right, sir.
All right. Now what you could do is, I'm gonna disconnect. So here what you could do is, you could also do -10 here. So it's gonna show you the 10 lines. Or I don't think that 10 is efficient here. I think let's do 100. And yeah. All right, so you could play around with this here. You could add 10, 11, whatever. But the idea is, if you want to run more about the command here, I told you type man and then type less. It will give you other information here, okay? So you could just read it, and what does W does, all these things. So this is the less command, opposite of more, okay? Less is a program similar to more, but which allows backward movement in the file as well as forward. Also, less does not have to read the entire input file before starting. So with large input files, it starts up faster than the text editor. Can you go on mute, please? And less uses term cap, term info on some system. So you could read up on it if you have time. I never go in here, I never do that. So, but if I ever, everything is there. All you have to do is, um, just type the man in there. Okay, all right, it's good. So moving along, what we could do is, there is another command called sort. It does the alphabetical sorting, okay? sort the file alphabetically. Okay, what does it mean? So let's take a look here. I'm going to type sort. I'm going to do, let's do cat file4. Okay, it has all this in here, right? Now I'm going to do just sort file4 and hit enter here. So you see the difference here. It is sorting alphabetically. Okay, 8 to so you got the idea here. I don't have to spend too much time here. But if there is a number in there, you type sort -n. If there is a number somewhere, it uses the number, but the number has to be at the start of the file here. I barely use this command, so don't worry about too much about it. Okay, so and then sort -n. Okay, all right, so that's enough of that. Okay, and man, did I give you the input about the man pages, right? Cat standard output, standard input. Okay, yeah. So the next command is unique, uniq. What it'll do is it will come up with the it will sort only the unique numbers in there, numbers or letters. Usually you use it for unique letters here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a file cat, and then I'm gonna say fruits. I'm gonna say apple, pineapple, apple, berry, strawberry, mango, and blueberry, berry again, strawberry again, and then mango, and then watermelon. Okay, Control D. So if I type unique and then fruits, so what it does is in here anything which is sorting out through, it will just remove it and brings up the unique words in it. Okay, so let's see here. So we have apple here, apple, it's not working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Why is it not working? So you type man unique and hit enter. So only prints the duplicate lines. Okay. Reports or omits repeated lines. And unique so what it's supposed to do is it is supposed to not bring up here the lines which are repeating here. Berry is repeating 1, 2, but it is bringing a berry 2 times here. I don't use this often here, so if you get stuck here, guys, you have to put in what you got to do. You got to put in Google here. Unique command not working. Enter. Command not working properly. So why is it not working? So it says Ubuntu here. If you're dealing with Red Hat, you just type Red Hat in there, okay? So command not working properly. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go to the first result. Clearly each line is repeated. Let's not run unique on this file, see what happens. So as you see, the output command produces contain not repeated files. Okay, so let's see here, unique -d. You know what the problem is? I think it removes the line if it's right next to each other here. Okay, so let's do this. Clear. We're gonna do cat. I'm gonna overwrite fruits. Okay, apple, apple, berry, 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 apple, pineapple, pineapple, and mango, mango. Okay, and let's do avocado. Control D. Now you see unique fruits. Okay, now, so it's not, I thought it would just bring up thing here. So if something is repeating right next to each line, that's what it's removing. It's not removing as a unique character here. Okay, so that's what it is. Removes the line repeats. Okay, that should be good enough for you. Okay, now let's go through some. I'm going to clear this, and the next command is if you want to see the date of the system, it will show you when you type date. It will show you this information here. Okay, this is a date command. This is self-explanatory, I think so. And then cal. What does cal do? It shows you the calendar here. Okay, cal. It gives you the calendar output. And the date is highlighted here for you. Okay, and I think you could type cal and then type 1900. It gives you the calendar of that year. And if you type cal month, what month is this? This is August, right? If you type 08 1900, it gives you this output. Okay, so you got the idea how this is working. And see, I think I like this calendars like this here, nice and simple. This will be beneficial when you go, if you need to find something here. Okay, so you got the idea how this is working. Now the next command is uptime. You type uptime and hit enter. What is it going to show? Is going to show you the displays. This is the time, how long it's been. It's up for 7 days, and this is the current time. Okay, and how many users? There are 2 users connected. How is it says 2 users? It's we are connecting from this window, 1 user. It's the same user, and then there is another session running here, right? This is user 1 and this is user 2. Okay, So, but yeah, don't worry too much about it. Uptime displays the uptime of the system since the last reboot. I've seen some servers which were not rebooted in 10,000 days, 15,000 days. So that's the beauty of Linux, is very stable, and you don't really have to restart the system for this to work here. You know what? Let's take a 2-minute break here. I need to make a call here. Let's give a 2-minute break, and I'll be right back. Okay? Let me pause this. And give me 1 second here. Okay, so we have uptime. So we got 2 users here, right? So we want to see who is logged in. Just type who. Who will tell you where is it logged in, and it will give you what kind of login in here. We'll work on this little later here, but this is the information here. I'm logged in. What kind of connection is this? And the server you're connecting from, the computer name. Okay, so that's the information for who. Okay, so who displays, usually there are 10 or 15 people connected, okay, in the real one environment. Displays the users logged into system, okay. Okay, and last, you type last and hit enter, and this is the last activity, because this file is writing on the top. It's giving you the system was rebooted on this day at this time, and then it was rebooted again. Okay, now this is the system was rebooted, and this person logged in root was logged in at that time. So it has a timestamp, okay, and it's doing all the logins in here. So let me do a duplicate session here, and let me log in here again. Root password, and now if I do last again, I should have the current information here, 1335. Okay, so it also actually gives you last login information here on this screen. And so now it has updated here. If you look at previous one, it was 1220. Now it has a current information here. And you could do who also. You should have 3 logins now. Okay, so I'm logged in from 3 places. Exit. Okay, so I'm not in there anymore. Last. Guys, if you find it uppercase command just automatically think it is a lowercase, okay, because the Word document is auto correcting itself. Last displays the login and reboot activity. Okay, now I'm going to clear. Now the next command is free and hit enter. It will display the memory information here. Okay, what is the memory, current memory being used? But if you type free -h, I use free -h all the time here because -h gives you the human readable and gives you the swap and virtual memory information here. Okay, free -h. Oh god, my keyboard, there is a delay in there, that's why I'm mistyping it. Okay, so displays the system RAM, let's put it that way, the correct term, and swap. You guys heard about virtual memory, right? It uses the part of the virtual memory. All of you have heard of virtual memory? I hope so. Hello, you guys could hear me, right? Everybody with me so far?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, and there is a command called du, stands for disk usage. Disk usage information of the file or folder. Okay, so I type ls and I want to use the ls-l. Okay, you could do that, or if I do du file 4 and hit enter, it will give you in kilobytes. Normally what I do is du-h. It will give you the human readable information, okay? Let's see du-h var log messages. Okay, let's look at this file here. Uh, 082. Okay, so this file has that much information there. Next command is top. It gives you the system information, CPU, memory, and processor. It's the same thing as if you're on a Windows, if you type taskbar and you see performance, you see all this here, right? It's a similar information. It will go up and down. The information goes up and down. Displays the dynamic information about the system. CPU, memory, processes. Okay, so what does that mean? So here, this is gonna go up and down here, but let me see here. So it's telling you there are 2 users logged in and task 94. 91 are sleeping. That means 91 tasks are sleeping. That means they are inactive. CPU percentage. Okay, I actually will go much deeper in here. Okay, we'll go much deeper. We'll come back to this here, okay? And to Q, just to Q to quit it, okay? Q to quit the information. These are all the top hyphen HV. Yeah, we'll go into the top command later, okay? So when we are going to do troubleshooting. It's actually a part of troubleshooting. Okay, how much time we got? We got good 15 minutes. Okay, so the next command I'm going to show you is which. You type which. And you type which and hit enter. And it does this here, right? But what you really have to do is you type, if you want to find out if the command is sitting in the system or not, then you could do that here, okay? So what you do is which tree, and if you get this output as like this here without any errors, that means the command is, which command is installed here. But if you say which Firefox, so if you're getting this information here, the Firefox is not installed. Okay, this is a good example if it's installed or not installed. If you want to find out if a command or package is installed, you do this here. Okay, that's which. I'm going to clear this. So now next thing what we're going to do is zip the file. Okay, so let's zip some files here. Okay, so what will happen is let's see here. Somebody help me here. I need to copy this file. I need to copy this file. What is the command?
Is it the two greater than signs? Or less than signs, sorry?
I said copying the file.
Oh, CP, sorry.
Yeah, very good.
Yep, sorry
Okay,
about that.
no problem. Let's see here. Okay, so let's look at this here. Help me with this. So I type CP here, right? And then what is this part here? What is this part? Look in this here, this command box. What is this? Looking in here, help me. Where I need to find. I want to file this here. So what is this? This part?
Destination?
No. The command works. The command, then the source, then the destination.
Did you say it was a command script?
No, I want to copy this file here. This file is sitting in the var logs folder, and this is the name of the file. Okay. I want to copy this file. So first, what we have to do the copy command, and then we have to provide the source. And what after source, what do we need to do?
Put the destination, right?
Yeah. And I want to copy where I'm. I want to copy wherever I am right now. How do I see where I am right now?
CD
No,
or
no.
PWD.
PWD. Okay, this is where I want to copy this file here. So I do this CP, and this is the source file. Okay, and what would be the destination?
Wherever you want to put it.
Yeah, so help me with that. What do I type? What would be the destination, guys? Come on.
What is the destination you want to put it into?
Yeah, so I want to put in wherever I am right now. So we did PWD. So what would be my destination?
The squiggly line?
It would be root.
Root or the
Yeah,
squiggly line?
very good, root. Just don't say root/root. Instead of doing that, I told you something else, right? Right here. What does it mean? Present working directory dot. Instead of typing root, I could do this too. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
So what it'll do is it will copy it in the present working directory. Oh, no such file. I think you have to. The file name is. I told you when you double tab it, it will give you more information. To and tab. And when you go do a tab, if the space, if it's giving you the space, that means it picked up the correct file you were looking for. And if I type hid,
You,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say you deleted the 9 in the
No, I don't delete it.
2002.
In this var log, there are two files which are almost close. Look at the last number here. I didn't delete the file here. I was at 0 here. I was stopping it right here at 0. See?
Mhm.
And then when I do the tab key, since there were two files were almost with similar name, only the last digit is different. In here 2 is
Yeah.
different, in here 9 is different. So if I want to select, then it will give you or display your option which one you want to select. So I selected the first one, and then I'm telling the copy command to copy this file from somewhere and put it in my folder right now. So if I hit enter and if I do ls here, the file is there. The file just got copied here. Okay. So I was waiting for this moment to put this in here. So I'm gonna use. So important here. See, now you could see how you could use, instead of typing /root, you could just type dot here. That means they will reduce the chances of errors. So this is very good here. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this here. Copy command, and what you could do is you could also do two dots. It will copy in the previous working a directory above directory. Okay, so where is that directory? /pwd. So it probably went into cd slash, and if you do ls here, see that file got copied over here. Okay, now you could manipulate a lot of things using this. Then you could also do that dot 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 dot. You got the idea. So we have this here. So all this led up to the zip. And the next thing I'm going to show you is how to zip a file. That's what all this led up to. Okay, so let's zip the file here. Okay, so I'm gonna, so to zip the file, the command is called gzip. Okay, gzip. I don't know why. I have to take a look at the man pages here. Uh, man gzip. What does it stand for? What does the gzip reduces the size? Compresses or expand the file. Okay, but what does G stands for? Okay, so it doesn't particularly tell me what does G stands for in gzip. Okay, let's quit this. Clear. So the command to zip a file is, how do you zip a file? So gzip. Okay, and the name of a file .gz. Let me do without .gz and see what happens. So what it does is it zips the original file. It doesn't even ask you for the, and then gives you the instruction. So it what it does is it gives you the extension .gz. Okay. Zips and compresses the file. It renames file with .gz extension. Okay, and how do you unzip it? It's called gunzip. Gunzip, and then you give the name of the file. Okay, by the way, you do ls-l, and you see the file. The size of the file is 53K, right? Okay, the size of the file is 53K. Okay, now when we unzip it, gunzip, so the original size of the file is 250K, and the gunzip, gzip, it reduces the file. It reduces the file size here. It zips and reduces the file size, okay? All right. I'm going to stop here. We'll pick it up next week. And I'm going to copy this information here. So what I'm trying to show you is this part, okay? All right, so I'm gonna end here. We'll pick it up next week, and then we'll have more interesting class. Everybody, please use the chat if you got questions, and from there, I want everybody to. If you guys want to do a practice off hours, and if you need the WebEx access, I could give that to you. So you guys decide on your own, and then let me know, and then I'll provide the WebEx access. Okay. All right. Please use the chat for if you got any questions or if you get stuck.
You said
Okay.
if we wanted to use what?